Let's throw some perspective onto this, and joining us tonight is Flight Captain Francis Babu, who is an aviation expert. Captain, many thanks for joining us this evening. What are the common causes of incidents like the recent one that was involved, where the Deputy Speaker was involved, and also how can they be mitigated?
Well, first and foremost, thank you very much. I think there's a lot of speculation. We should try and understand. First of all, you have to separate the type of airplanes we're talking about. One, the airplanes of the Army, the Air Force are different from civilian airplanes. Secondly, the civilian airplanes are regulated by the Civil Aviation Authority. The Civil Aviation Authority have got experts, and these experts are called surveyors, and they are inspectors who come and look at these airplanes. Secondly, we must understand that Civil Aviation Authority and operators have got a relationship which is very, very strict. Flight safety is the fastest thing that the Civil Aviation Authority follows. Now, aeroplanes have got what they call maintenance schedules, and in modern system, the maintenance is ongoing, and the Civil Aviation Authority with the company operator, they are continuously working together to ensure safety of aircrafts. Now, in this particular case, the little investigation I've done, the airplane was going to take off, and they had smoke coming out of the cockpit, and that smoke eventually became fire. And the pilot, you must congratulate him. He forced the aeroplane, it landed, and the people came out. I'm told somebody was burnt, but that is now called an incident. That's not even an accident. So when we are talking in aviation, we've got to get experts to try and help us. And I'm going to ask you kindly, in the future, get a surveyor from the Civil Aviation Authority to give you a provisional what they have found out what happened that time. We cannot decide immediately what actually happened until the surveyors have gone there, looked at the aeroplane, and eventually told you exactly what happened. But in this particular case, it was a very good thing is that the pilot forced landed, and these people came out. It is not even crash landing as they're saying. It's a forced landing, and people came out. It was a technical error, which was electrical, because it brought smoke and eventually brought fire. And I'm happy that the passengers came out, which means there was enough time for them to come out. This, in aviation language, is called an incident. A crash is if there were fatalities and things had gone out haywire. And now for the other aeroplanes you've talked about, there was one of the Bar Aviation you talked, that was a fixed wing aeroplane. Now that had its own problems. Again, we need an investigation to give us exactly what happened. Now, when the investigators go there, they'll get everything. They will get the voice, they will get what really happened, and they will analyze it and give you the actual thing. Usually, the accidents are brought about in two things. One, either they're human error, where the pilot makes a mistake, or it can also be technical. In this particular case, it was technical.
Captain, let me come in here. Now, let's talk about what Parliament has just directed today to Civil Aviation Authority. Is it possible for the regulator to balance oversight, regulation, but also go on and ensuring that the private aviation operators can operate effectively? Is it possible for a regulator to do both?
Yeah, I like this word direct, Parliament directs. No, the Civil Aviation Authority has got an Act of Parliament, and that Act of Parliament gives them certain powers. And the Civil Aviation has got different directorates, and one of them is the Air Navigation Department, which was the former Directorate of Civil Aviation, which has got experts, engineers, and pilots, and operations officers who actually make sure that they are permanently following up what these companies are doing. So it doesn't matter whether they are a private group or whether they are government, as long as they are civil. The Civil Aviation Authority will supervise and will make sure they follow a particular group. So if the Committee of Parliament would like to do this, they can call Civil Aviation Authority, and the experts will come and explain to them what kind of programs they have with all these private organizations. And they have them.
Flight Captain Francis Babu.
And they do it.
Thank you. Thank you for